Greetings and salutations. This is David Duford, owner of Duford Insurance Group, where we train agents nationally to sell final expense Medicare, health insurance, and annuities face-to-face or over the phone. The purpose of this video is to compare and contrast how Duford Insurance Group is different and better than many of the agencies and IMOs that are out there. The reason to watch this video is because you are seriously considering a career selling some kind of insurance product and you're doing some kind of due diligence or comparison of different agencies and want to see where Duford Insurance Group stands in relative nature to the other agencies that are out there. I'm going to spend a lot of time going into detail about all of the benefits that are associated with working with Duford Insurance Group while also describing who may not be a good fit for my particular agency. So without further ado, let's get started. Number one, Duford Insurance Group is not a multi-level marketing agency. So here's the deal with most insurance agencies. They follow a multi-level marketing culture where scaling up by recruiting anybody with a pulse that can fog a mirror is more important than recruiting agencies to develop them into top producers. What a lot of people don't know getting into this business is a lot of the leaders in the business that recruit very large numbers of people started their original business with either an insurance agency from 10 to 15 years ago that was completely focused on mass recruiting in an MLM way and thus kind of copied that particular culture, or even worse, came from an MLM that focused on this kind of hype ideology in recruiting and building an agency, but without the substance necessary to develop skills for the agents to go out there and sell insurance successfully. So the way that Duford Insurance Group is different is that we are not a multi-level marketing agency. I have no interest in recruiting people to train them on how to recruit people and then to duplicate that process 5, 10, 15 layers down. Frankly, every time I've seen this over the past 10 years, the problem with these type of business models is yes, they recruit a lot of people and yes, they write a lot of business, but so many people get caught in the middle. They don't get the proper attention, servicing, and training that they need to give themselves the best chances and opportunities to sell insurance successfully. So what do I do instead of focusing on the MLM way of recruiting? Instead, what I do is focus on talking to agents that value skill development, that actually want to sell insurance, that want to get good at selling insurance. And the benefit of this approach, because I recruit this way, is that agents who join my agency aren't 10 layers deep from myself and then where they're at. And so what happens is there's not all these layers in between that take a small commission cut off of each piece of production that you do. So one of the benefits of working with the Duford Insurance Group is that my commission levels are superior to the competition because I've essentially cut out the middleman that is so common in the MLM business where other organizations above you have to get paid. And that allows me to extend you a much higher level of commission and much better terms for you as the agent running your agency so that you can get yourself in a more lucrative position to make more money per sale. And again, because the culture of Duford Insurance Group isn't about mass recruitment and instead is about training, all of my attention, all of my focus is how can I make agents better? How can I turn them out to be better producers, to be more skilled, to be more confident in their skill set so they can help more people? And ultimately what happens is that agents are more successful more often than not because they've been given attention on how to develop themselves into producers and how to then therefore help people versus going down the recruitment path that most MLMs are typical of. Number two, a transparent, open, and honest relationship focused on serving you, the agent. Now, you may be wondering, well, how does Duford Insurance Group, other agencies and IMOs make money off of you when you are an agent working with them? So the business model typically for most agencies is to make what's called an override. You're at a certain commission level, the agency you're with is at a different one, and the difference between those commissions is what the agency receives in an override basis. Again, the strategy here, guys, is when you build an agency, you scale your capability in teaching what you know to a multitude of people, and you make a little bit of a lot of agents' commission. And what invariably happens is those who are very successful as agency builders make much, much more than they would typically selling on their own. So why should you care? Well, here's the thing. A lot of the organizations that you're looking on don't just monetize the business activity based off of you making a sale, which is what you would expect, right? The agency wins, they make a little commission when you make a sale. Instead, what a lot of these agencies are doing right now, especially the big ones, the MLM type of focused agencies, is they monetize you even if you don't make a sale at all. So how does an agency make money on you even if you don't make a sale? Well, what happens is that these big MLMs are highly incentivized because they recruit so many people to push different kinds of training for a fee, or to push overpriced crappy leads that they make great money on, or to come up with these erroneous charges like desk fees or training fees to make another stream of income that they will profit on even if you don't. On some level, perhaps you can make the argument that this is an activity that is a more intelligent way for the company, the business, to monetize, to create value. But for me personally, as an agency owner, I always looked at the profiting off of the sale of leads or the profiting off of selling training or a desk fee as kind of at best muddying the water. In other words, when you have a situation where somebody wins in a business relationship where you don't win at all, seems to be misplacing or misalignment of goals. Here's what I mean. At Duford Insurance Group, I only make money when you make a sale. So I am biased from a profit standpoint of taking the right and appropriate agent when they're recruited and giving them all the resources necessary, from training to the references to the right lead vendors to support, to get them out the door, get them on the phone, making sales, because I don't win until that happens. So my incentive is the same as yours because you want the same thing too. You don't make money when you buy leads. You don't make money when you buy the training in these kind of examples mentioned earlier. You only make money when you make a sale. So doesn't it make sense to work with an agency that has the perfect or most perfect goal alignment with yours? This is a big deal to me, and I believe that this alignment is absolutely critical and one of the greatest things that set aside what I do at Duford Insurance Group versus the competition. I frankly care about your success because I'm not successful without your success ever. And kind of on a more overarching basis, kind of one of the benefits here of working with Duford Insurance Group is we truly, because of what we just described, focus on what matters the most to the agent first. Like I said, I refuse to get paid if you're not getting paid, or come up with strategies to monetize you if it doesn't equally benefit you in the same way. And this is why Duford Insurance Group, despite the major competition and large organizations recruiting lots of agents, has thrived despite of that, because I keep the agent first and foremost when it comes to executing the principles of what Duford Insurance Group stands for. So there's some other benefits of working with Duford Insurance Group as well that you should know. Number one, there's no contract. And what I mean by no contract is we're not going to hold you back or cause you to be in a non-compete position. When you join Duford Insurance Group, you are in a business relationship without the typical hang-ups that many other organizations force upon their agents. Number two, you're fully vested 100% from the first day. And simply put, what this means is you own your book of business. You own the future cash flows from income and residuals from the business that you place. And even if you leave Duford Insurance Group or stop selling, you still get paid on that business as long as you retain your licensing. Number three, you're paid directly from the carrier. You're not in a position where you won't be paid direct from the carrier or you'll be paid from me. You have less middlemen involved in the handling of your money, which makes the payment process more efficient and more effective and agent focused. Number four, we also at Duford Insurance Group have an open release policy contingent upon being chargeback free. And simply put, what that means is that as long as you don't owe chargeback money, then if you decide Duford Insurance Group isn't for you, then we will grant a release on the final expense and Medicare side of the business to allow you to move those carriers anywhere you want to, as well as the health insurance and annuity side too. So bottom line, guys, hope you can see here, we're agent focused and we don't just say it, but we mean it. We really want to have a business relationship, not some kind of employer-employee type of relationship. More on that later. It's imperative to make sure that we're both on equal footing, you the agent and me the agency owner, because I believe when we're on equal footing and we're both winning, well, we're all winning. We're making money. Everything's good. Also, sometimes I think people are unclear about this when they look at my content and decide or think about joining. When you join Duford Insurance Group, you're going to get access directly to yours truly. I'm not like the Wizard of Oz behind a curtain that you never see except when he comes out to do Q&A training calls. I am actively and engaged and involved with my agents who want my presence and want my help. For example, I'm accessible on my phone. My cell phone's always right beside me. You can call me, you can text me when you have urgent questions related to underwriting or you need problem solved fast. You can also email me if you have non-urgent questions. I typically get back to emails that are sent to me within 24 hours or less during normal business hours. Also, we do multiple live trainings twice a day on many days of the week, so you can bring your questions there. And I personally teach 95% of them, so I am there to help and train you on a very regular, almost daily basis. And when you need help on strategizing a business plan or you need more focused coaching, there is a one-on-one coaching call opportunity to speak with me one-on-one to help diagnose your problems and to set you straight and help you out. So hopefully you can see we really take the relationship of an open, honest, transparent one very seriously. You're very rarely going to find anything like this in the insurance space, no matter what kind of products you sell. So many IMOs and agencies are hot and bothered to get you recruited, but they never do anything after the ink is dried and you're now officially an agent. I can't tell you how many times I've heard complaints that agents don't get support, they don't get training, they don't get their phone calls and emails returned. They're just kind of just left out there to fend for themselves. That is not going to happen with Duford Insurance Group. We guarantee it. Number 3, let's talk about the specialties that Duford Insurance Group works in. So Duford Insurance Group has been around since 2013, and our predominant focus, as it always has been and still is in the final expense market. But we also do business with Medicare, annuities, and health insurance as well. So what I want to spend some time doing here is kind of describing how these particular programs work and what the details are behind them and how we differentiate ourselves amongst the competition of other agencies and IMOs that recruit. Number 1, final expense. At Duford Insurance Group, we train new and experienced agents to sell final expense, whether they want to do it remotely over the phone or the traditional classical way of selling final expense face-to-face. I've been a final expense agent since 2011 when I first started. I've won multiple convention trips. I've written a ton of premium. I know the business backward and forward, and it's based on my experience and my ups and downs in the business that I developed my final expense curriculum to help those new agents and experienced agents succeed in selling final expense, again, whether they want to do telesales or face-to-face. And just for a little more clarity, I was personally a face-to-face agent in the field for 5 years, from 2011 to 2016, and as I worked myself out of the field from 2016 to 2017, I actually started a website to generate my own insurance leads in the final expense space to sell over the phone. I have many years selling final expense over the phone from those self-generated leads I created, and I've also had people who've worked in my small little call center working those leads since 2018 or so. So I have many, many years now, 4+ really from the filming of this, that I've trained agents to sell successfully over the phone. So bottom line, I have a very large and expansive experience, whether it's face-to-face or over the phone. I know how to sell both. I know how to train agents on how to sell both. And I'm confident that I can help you get to the next level of where you want to be in the final expense business, whether face-to-face or in the telesales market. Now let's talk about Medicare. So on the Medicare side, we got back into Medicare about 2018 to 2019 when the rules and compliance issues specifically around Medicare Advantage began to relax. I was approached by my upline partner to get into the Medicare space because of all of the opportunities and the aging baby boomer population, increasing the population that needs Medicare. And we decided to partner with longtime Medicare and health insurance professional Luis Moreno, whose job is to train our agents to become top producers in the Medicare space. Luis has over 1,000 Medicare clients. He's been doing Medicare for well over 10+ years, and he knows the market backwards and forwards and has done a fabulous job helping our agents become top producers, specifically leading with Medicare Advantage type prospects. How annuity sales work. So the annuity business is a little bit different. What we have kind of arrived to with the annuity sales side of the Duford Insurance Group is that we train annuities kind of on an intermediate to advanced basis with agents who already have an existing lead program in place. In other words, we don't take agents on who don't already have prospects, whether that's business that they've already written in the past, an existing lead system, or interested prospects within their circle of influence. But we teach you from A to Z the entirety of what an annuity is, how to figure out what annuity is best for the client, how to write it, and then how to deal with it after you've submitted it to make sure the thing actually gets issued. And of course, my longtime annuity trainer, Stephen Burgess, still partners with me on this deal. I've worked with Stephen probably close to 4+ years now in the annuity space. We've helped dozens upon dozens of agents sell annuities successfully to their leads and to their clients. And if you don't know anything about annuities and want to sell them, then we can absolutely help you 100%. Last but not least, let's talk about ACA under 65 health insurance. Along with doing Medicare training, Luis Moreno also teaches and trains our agents on how to sell ACA under 65 health insurance. Now, it used to be a couple of years ago that I thought the ACA market was just a complete waste of time. But as the Obamacare, Bidencare, Trumpcare, ACA, whatever you want to call it, market has stabilized, the carriers are now starting to pay more and more commissions. They're also starting to pay very lucrative bonuses. And the market now is ripe for opportunity. And we highly encourage that, whether you sell Medicare to also cross-sell ACA, or if you're interested in approaching business owners to help their employees get coverage through ACA, there's an incredible new opportunity called the ICRA program that is a great way to learn to utilize on a scaled basis the ability to sell ACA health insurance to employees who otherwise don't have health insurance. Now, I'll say as a side note, if you don't know anything about these particular products and want to learn more, all you have to do is go to davidduford.com/FAQ. You'll see some links below the initial video there that'll give you an explanation of how these sales and marketing systems work in much more detail. Now let's talk about Duford Insurance Group's world-class sales and marketing training. Again, if you're a new agent to the insurance sales space and you're looking at different opportunities to sell insurance and which agencies or IMOs to join, what I can tell you this from many years personally being an agent and many years now having to recruit agents is that the vast majority of agencies, the vast majority of IMOs, simply put, do not have adequate, sufficient, and effective sales and marketing training programs. And because so many of these agencies are focused on mass recruitment, their emphasis and training is not very good. They just feel like, hey, here's a script, go get them, throw you to the wolves. And unfortunately, yes, most agents fail because of that. And yeah, some succeed, but the vast majority don't. And there's a middle ground of people that, simply put, would be extremely benefited by having some effective, goal-driven training put into place to help develop that skill set to increase the odds of success. And of course, that's what we do at Duford Insurance Group. We highly emphasize the training and development of the agent. Really, I think we're the best in the business at doing it because we're so consistent in its execution. So let's spend a little time breaking down how the training and onboarding works for all of the different products that we offer. So for final expense, I train everything on the telesales and face-to-face basis. For all of our new and experienced agents, we have a 15 to 20 day recommended onboarding process where you're going to learn the scripting, you're going to have self-study modules that have videos and written material for you to complete. You're going to spend time learning the products. You're going to get a free final expense cheat sheet that's going to help you underwrite your prospects. You're also going to have the opportunity to attend multiple live trainings each week where we listen to real life sales calls and critique them, where we do micro 30-minute daily huddle training to help your understanding of what you're learning in the final expense space. Not to mention, like we talked about earlier, you'll have direct access to me. You'll be able to email me, call me, text me, set up one-on-one calls when you need to help and support to get yourself up and running and prepared to sell successfully. Now for Medicare and ACA, we really have the same thing, but again, for the training part of it, I don't personally train that. Our trainer, Luis Moreno, spends all of the same time following the same processes, training agents who want to sell Medicare and training agents who want to sell ACA. So again, we've got live training opportunities, a 15 to 20 day onboarding process to get you up and running, script availability, role-playing availability, live training availability, pretty much everything that you need. Also having direct access and calls, text, emails directly to Luis, as well as myself, especially if you have business goals, strategies, or anything in general that you'd like me to help you with, I'm also available as well. And then if you sell annuities with Duford Insurance Group, you're going to have access to our annuity trainer, Stephen Burgess, who's sold annuities for years. And like we described earlier, what we do with the annuity process is a little different. We don't have a formalized classroom, step-by-step procedure to train. We really just take agents and teach them on how to prospect and find annuities. And then once you've found it, connect you with Steven. And then really Steven takes care of you from there. He'll instruct you on how much of an opportunity you have, if there is an opportunity, how to pitch it to the prospect, how to do a case design, how to get it through underwriting and compliance once it's submitted, and to basically walk you through step by step, hand in hand, on what steps you need to take in order to get that annuity issued so you get paid. Again, if you want to learn more about how training works, hopefully you can see we really take it seriously, and it's a big part of what we do at Duford Insurance Group. You can head over to davidduford.com/FAQ, and there's going to be more details and testimonials and case studies for all of these products that we sell, so you can, again, get a better grasp of what's possible and the kind of benefits that we provide through our training over at davidduford.com/FAQ and also davidduford.com/testimonials. Duford Insurance Group has lead programs for all budgets. So for the type of sales that we do, we absolutely want to have purchase lead programs in place so that we can deliver you quality prospects that have interest in doing business with you. Unfortunately, what most MLMs do or agencies do out there is they either A, don't have any quality lead programs available, or B, they have lead programs available, but because they've monetized it, they're not interested in giving you quality leads. They're just trying to make another stream of income through convincing you that these leads are somewhat great or whatever in order to profit. And then maybe you'll sell a few deals, but we're more likely to not get frustrated, but the agency still wins because they made money off of selling you crappy leads. So very important, what we do in the lead space that's different from other organizations is that we refer you to quality third-party lead generators, again, because we don't sell you leads and nor do we make money off of these referrals or the sale of those leads. Instead, what I want to do is find the good vendors out there that deliver a quality product and connect you with them, where you pay the retail price without an upcharge on the Duford Insurance Group end, but you're working with vendors already proven to work, that are already proven to be high quality, so you don't have to think about which vendor do I need to go with. You know by our recommendations that these are good lead vendors and these are good quality to you. Again, very important here, if you're going to work with Duford Insurance Group, just to be 100% clear, you got to have a budget. You have to invest in leads. This is a business model that requires your investment. Real quick, what we're looking at generally is a $500 to $1,000 weekly investment full-time for leads for all of our programs. And if it's part-time, somewhere between $250 and $500 a week. Now, quickly here, I want to go over our lead options so you just have an idea of what it is and how they work before we get started. So if you sell final expense, what we recommend is either a direct mail lead or a Facebook-generated lead. You'll see those vendors when you join our agency. And then you can also supplement those with some kind of seminar marketing as well, which is a low cost to free way to generate leads that are also high quality. We got a full course that you'll learn, again, no charge for you to learn. For our telesales agents, we like to train the final expense telesales agents either to buy digital Facebook leads in bulk or to generate some kind of live transfer lead from one of our preferred vendors, either that are transferred from an existing digital lead and agree to talk to you immediately, or generated off of something like a television-based commercial where the lead calls you. Now for Medicare, we have the opportunity to get you involved in a direct mail lead program. We've got multiple vendors that we use to fulfill direct mail lead orders. One thing that's really cool is we have an optional lead subsidy program that at the time of recording pays you $75 per Medicare Advantage sale. And also with production, what we see in this business is that more agents now are getting lead subsidies from the carriers to help offset their expenses. And you can learn more about how these works and how the best agents in our agency, simply put, pay very little to nothing for leads. If you head on over to davidduford.com/FAQ, read the Medicare section for more details on the specific. Duford Insurance Group is the perfect place for the agent with an entrepreneurial spirit. So this is one thing I think that's a biggest difference between most of the agencies and IMOs out there. They say that you're a partner, you're paid 1099 from a tax basis, you're a sole proprietor, but the way that they treat you is much more akin to an employer-employee relationship. That is not the case at Duford Insurance Group. This business I run is designed in part because I wanted to have a lifestyle-based business. In other words, I didn't want to get into a typical business model where I had to babysit agents or micromanage them or demand that they show up to every call and basically be in their ear and guilt trip them all day. I have no interest in that. What I'm interested in instead is working with people who have a higher sense of entrepreneurial spirit. They don't need to be babysat. They can decide for themselves to show up at calls if they want to or not, or to decide for themselves to go through the training. And that's why we don't have any micromanagement, no quotas to meet, no forced requirement to attend any of our meetings, and absolutely no babysitting. In other words, I think how I describe this is that you're alone in this business, but you're not on your own. So when you need the help, you've got me in your corner. But if you don't need the help, you don't have to worry about me bothering you or nagging you. So this kind of business model requires agents with a higher level of self-discipline, a higher level of self-initiative. So again, it's not for everybody, but for those people it is. They absolutely love that entrepreneurial type of business experience. And last but not least, Duford Insurance Group has almost a decade-long track record of success with agents across America. Again, when you're in the multi-level marketing space, one of the problems is you're not really joining the big MLM, you're joining some sub-agency, and the quality of training, the quality of the experience is gonna vary. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's terrible. And you work with the Duford Insurance Group, you're dealing directly with me. I am going to train you. I'm gonna be on the live Q&A calls to train you. I'm going to be there on the one-on-one calls. I'm gonna be there in the emails to answer because I am actively engaged in helping my people. So there's this kind of consistency in the quality side of the business. And again, one of the things I've always focused on in building my agency is capturing testimonials and case studies. And you can see for yourself if you go to davidduford.com/testimonials, not me claiming this is great, but agents in their own words over time saying this is great. And you can see examples of successful agents in their case studies of how what I teach was able to help create them in the top producers they are. So that is how Duford Insurance Group works. And if you want more details and see how to join, go to davidduford.com/FAQ, and you'll get more insight on how the sales and marketing systems work for the products that we teach agents. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you later. Bye.